Oh, man. So, I went back into this story because this cutscene was, well, can you call this a cutscene? Anyways, this dialogue option, these little snippets of story that were in the latest chapter, kind of highlight a point and kind of, bring it a lot more around when it comes down to it. So, Veronica has won Choose Your Legend. She's actually, well, she's the only villain character that I can actually think that's technically gotten into the top 2, which is crazy. And she's actually the first, well, Heroes character, original Heroes character. And for the most part, she was the one character that was, the staple, the logo for Fire Emblem Heroes. So to see her up there on her own little pedestal in second place, meaning that she's going to get a brave version of herself, is really crazy. And a lot of people are going, oh, well, she's not going to be. She's not going to be they're just going to release her normally and call that a day. Really, guys? I really doubt that. Mostly because her skill set right now is kind of antiquated in some ways and a little bit older than it should be. But still, let's just talk about Veronica real quick since people keep going on about it a little bit more. So, when it comes to Veronica, there's a lot of weird little things to point out. First off, chances are now that she's actually won her respective position in the Brave Heroes, I will point out that technically Ike was not available in the game for several months, and he was going to get a Brave version even, even before then. We knew that he was going to get that. So I feel the argument of her being this, unit where they're just going to release her normally, kind of odd. But I do want to point out that in the recent cutscenes and the recent storyline that has been going on in this app, which I guess you can really not tell too much, outside of Surtur promising to just burn everyone alive and Xander being there, because Xander is still, in some ways, being the protector for Veronica, which is, nice enough. I still enjoy the fact that they are, friends, and something is going on there, I guess. But when it comes to Surtur, yeah, he's still that one-note character that I'm pretty sure everyone kind of saw him for, and he's going to continue to be that one-note character. He just wants to burn everything, because why not? But Veronica is showing some character development, if you can call it that at least, in that she's starting to stand up for herself. She's starting to show herself to be a little bit more independent in her own ways. Granted, she's still probably kind of evil, because, well, she's from the Embla Empire. We can't have that. And she still wants Asker to die, but, she still seems to care about the people in some ways. I guess that's something. But I'm just saying that if any character right now in the story, again, story, quotations, would be to turn around and start joining forces, it would probably be Veronica. She is the most logical, equivalent that would be coming, because obviously she is a sore thumb in the current registrar, I don't know what I'm saying, the current, well, villain lineup, I guess you could say. She is going to be the one that, isn't from Muspel, whichever one you want to say. I forget how to say it, but, she is the one that is sticking out quite a bit. And since she's won this whole thing, I have to say, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how this translates into the game, because as we've seen with Choose Your Legends, especially with characters, well, Ike was much more important, because obviously, he was a character that was missing for, I forget how many months. I think it was 3 to 4 months in the game before, he eventually came out, and then he came out. And now we have 3 versions of him. we have Ike, slightly beefier Ike, and now even extremely beefier Ike. But now we are starting to see a change in storyline, and I'm hoping that this will eventually lead to something that's kind of run a little bit of I wouldn't say a reoccurring thing in Fire Emblems, at least for the current ones, the more recent ones, especially with things like Awakening. The villain characters, or characters that were kind of dead, coming back and joining your team. Eventually, I have no doubts that Veronica will be joining, especially, since the newer villains, Surtur and his group, seem to be the much more prevalent force in the whole storyline. Granted, I'm still wondering how this is going to end and what's going to happen with characters like Loki and Levitain, but I have to say that, you know, with Bruno gone, the next best piece to fall in line would probably be Veronica. And I'm really doubting that people, you know, people voted for her. I really doubt that they would just be like, oh, by the way, here's Veronica. Here's brave Veronica. She's her normal self. Which, yeah, considering the fact that all of these other units seem to be pretty pivotal and have really powerful, you know, abilities, it's really quite odd. So that was just me going through the normal story mode just to get to that. So, now we know. And knowing is half the battle. I'm going to try to load into Choose Your Legends. We'll see how well this goes. But, warning, if I click on this and it crashes, well, that's too much to say. But, yep, I knew it. It's gonna crash, isn't it? Oh, well, it crashed, but I managed to load it back up into a new thing. So now that Choose Your Legends Round 2 is over, I figured it would be prevalent to at least go into the results screen and talk about things as they are, because when it comes to Choose Your Legends and how units are added in the future, they tend to go for the more popular units because, well, this is a way to not only gauge popularity to create 2 special units for, you know, the male and female varieties, but also to gauge popularity with characters as a whole and see which characters they can add in the next line of, you know, summoning banners and what have you. So, of course, we have at the top 4, we have Hector, Celica, Ephraim, and Veronica, but then, of course, we have Marth, Camilla. These are characters that are technically already in the game. You know, there's Erica, there's Azura, Loki. Loki, of course, is already in the game. Reinhardt, you know, Nino, Micaiah, Corrin, all this fun stuff. But the thing we want to look at is we want to look at characters that haven't been in the game yet. Of course, you know, we're going to keep going down this list, but the one thing that really sticks out to me, of course, and it's also my battery dying. See, this is what happens when I record after doing a bunch of stuff. Anyways, Leaf. Leaf is probably the next, you know, the next prevalent character. Thracia has not been getting any real attention in outside of Reinhardt, who's now at the top, and it's kind of odd. After that, we of course have Silky, who really put up a good fight as well, and is a beast unit, so I'm not sure if we're going to actually see that. And then, of course, Morgan, who we haven't seen in the game, and of course, you know, being a child unit, it's something that we could probably address and hopefully see in the future when it comes to the next units. And then, you know, we go down there, and there, of course, there's Owain, which I know a lot of you were really hoping for, so, you know, there you can kind of see what they usually aim for. Last time we had a list like this when characters were not added. We had a whole new Choose Your Legends kind of thing going on. We got Joshua, we got Dorcas, we got Lute, those types of characters. We got Mia from it as well. And there was a whole, you know, smorgasbord of characters that they can pick from. The only, you know, things like Micaiah eventually came out because of her popularity on this list. She was insanely high. And then, of course, we're going to, you know, we're going to keep going down this, and you're going to start to see that there are some characters that, of course, are in the game, but aren't as well. There's Cliff, who, for some reason, got completely eclipsed. He just, you know, out of all of the villager units, he was the one that just kind of disappeared into the, you know, into oblivion. I'm not really too sure as to why there, but that just gives you an idea, doesn't it? From there, you know, Keaton, all sorts of other characters. I'm kind of amazed to see Alphonse up here. Fjorm is surprisingly high. Aversa, you know, these types of units. Ishtar, who, you know, his genealogy I would love to see as an actual, you know, Grand Hero battle. There's a lot of options here. And of course, when you compare them to units already in the game, you know, we're going to be seeing things that are going to be fascinating to hopefully see in future banners. And while Veronica did get up there in the top, you know, I'm hoping that we'll see a lot of these characters as well. And I'm hoping that they can figure out some way to at least give us normal Veronica as well, because now I think they're well aware of the demand that's coming from that. And chances are they may already have known the demand from this, because based on how, you know, the trajectory, I can't talk right now, trajectory, there we go, talking hard, of, you know, the last bit of storyline, we're starting to see things change, at least for those characters. I don't think we're going to be getting a whole turnaround, but eventually, we might eventually, you know, get Veronica as a whole. And people need to remember that just because, you know, this is a world where all worlds converge, it doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to get the Veronica we have here as well. But we have a lot of... Oh, there's Sumia. She did get votes. I'm so happy. There's Valori as well, which is great. Risk got up pretty high, too. That's great. Tyburn, I forget how to say his name. Berkut, hey, good for Berkut. There's a lot. Ophelia, I know that's another one that people really wanted to see. And Surtur actually got up fairly high as well. Could you imagine? But what I'm trying to say here is don't worry about characters that are, you know... I know some people were like, couldn't we have gotten a better character than Veronica? But I feel it's worth trying to get at least some interesting units that have come along. And I'm really glad that Ephraim got up there. And Celica, and, you know, while Marth and Camilla fell a little short, next time they're going to be doing great just the same, and I'm sure, you know, I'm sure a lot of this will change if we do another Choose Your Legends, and just, you know, in an Erica's case, it could very well be a change and just give us a second unit of any of these. It's such an oddity to look at all of this, but I hope you guys are excited for the future, and what might possibly be held in the future of all of these units. I'm hoping that they'll aim for the units that are missing right now from this list, but that's just amazing. All of these votes for these characters and everything. Crom really fell down all that way. Good lord. Tharja as well. This is such an odd thing, but I really hope Leaf shows up, and Silky. I would really love to see them. Thracia, guys, come on, where is it? Where's the love in that? So, alright. That's basically all I wanted to talk about, was just, you know, people putting fears aside, because, guys, I just want to, you know, point this out when it comes to this. Let's just go to the homepage real quick. When it says the results are in, and talking about that, I like how Marth's on the right side as well. You know, it says that they're going to be getting their special Choose Your Legends outfits, so... Pretty sure you can look forward to a Veronica that's not the Veronica in the game right now, and I'm really excited to see how Hector, Celica, and Ephraim are going to look, because it's going to be exciting. So, just saying, popularity will be a big thing, and they're not going to just go off of the top 4 here. They're going to go with other things, guys. They're going to look at this list and see it, and you know, the fact that Veronica got up to 2. That's probably going to alter a lot. So, anyways, hope you have a great morning, guys, and I'll see you all very soon. Thanks for watching.